I'm happy to be in any major city, though, because I'm from a little poor town called Aberdeen, Washington. Some of you can smell the poverty on me, I can tell, that's okay. For those of you that don't know, Aberdeen, Washington is a little poor town that Nirvana and Kurt Cobain came from. Yeah. It's a town so shitty and poor it created grunge music. You know, and it's a little annoying to a kid growing up in Aberdeen that that's all people ever think of when they hear Aberdeen is Kurt Cobain and Nirvana. And Aberdeen has more going for us than that, right? Because Aberdeen, Washington was recently voted the ugliest city in Washington for the third time in a row. So don't come for our title, you will get robbed at needlepoint. So I know Seattle likes to act like it has a bad rep. Come on down to Aberdeen, see what real epidemic looks like, okay? Now, people that don't know I come from an area like that will take one look at a guy that looks like me and they'll be like, hey man, you need to check your privilege. Because not everyone's from a gated community, jerk. And I'm always surprised, I'm like, how did you know I'm from the only gated trailer park in Aberdeen? The only other gated community where I come from is Stafford Creek Penitentiary, so I'm... Basically, to sum it up, every single town has a motto. The motto for my hometown is "Come as you are." It's a Kurt Cobain song. But after doing some research, maybe don't come as you are. Maybe try a little harder. And yeah, I don't know. It's like every town has a motto. You got to vote for that motto. And I shit you not, in second place for Aberdeen's motto was "Shoot for the stars, not your veins." Aberdeen, Washington. So just in case if I say something that makes you feel funny, just remember where I come from. It's all right, I get a pass. Growing up in a little town like that, I always got bad advice. Like, I was visiting there the other day, and someone came up to me, and they were like, hey man, you do comedy, you gotta burn sage. Because burning sage is super good luck. And no one ever bothered to tell me that burning sage, I own myself, was considered really bad luck. And I learned that way too late when my cat died. Yeah, so rest in peace, Sage, I'm gonna miss her a lot. You like the dead cat joke, hell yeah. Yeah, growing up in a little town like that, when I was a kid, my dad, he was an ambulance driver, he was an EMT, and the way, as a kid, he described his job to me was he said that driving an ambulance is a lot like driving a taxi, except you don't get the tips. Which is a shitty analogy, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't think driving an ambulance is anything like driving a taxi, but I do think driving an ambulance is a lot like driving DoorDash. Because the whole goal of either of them is you gotta get the delivery there before it gets cold, okay? I'm just kidding. Just kidding. It's fun, man. I've been in a relationship for 6 years. Thank you very much, with a beautiful woman, straight man. Being a straight man in a relationship for 6 years, you gotta pick up some new hobbies. So I picked up some new hobbies. I started flirting with dudes. How's it going, handsome? You're looking good. Yeah. It started out as a joke, but then I quickly realized how badly men need the compliments, you know? Because the default reaction for a man is if you're like, what's up, handsome, is for him to go, me? What the? Stop it. You know? And the older the dude, the more susceptible they are to compliments, you know? Like, I told an old guy what's cooking good looking the other day, and he kissed me and gave me a hug. What the hell? I don't know, man. It's just crazy how susceptible men are. We need attention, man. We are attention starved. That's why men sneeze so freaking loud. It's for attention, dude. Next time you hear a dude sneeze at the top of his lungs, don't say God bless you. Give him a blowjob. That's what he needs. You guys are cool. All right, I like it. Yeah. I love doing comedy. It's my favorite thing to do. I'm lucky to do it for money all the time, but I'm very bad at doing other things for money all the time. I've been fired for a lot of jobs. I got fired from a job one time for drinking and working. I got called in the boss's office half in the bag. He was like, Jeremiah, you can't be drinking and working. And I'm so much fun, I'm like, who's working, you know? Been fired a lot. I've been fired from a job one time for calling in sick too many times with herpes. Got called in the boss's office. They're like, Jeremiah, this is a reoccurring problem. Your attendance is spotty. I'm like, I think that's how herpes works, asshole. I didn't have good jobs, though. Probably my favorite job I ever had was I worked at a daycare. Finally, I was the smartest dude in class. Yeah. But I learned a lot about kids working at daycare, because I don't have kids, but I learned there's two main types of kids. There's kids that hate getting dizzy, and kids that freaking love getting dizzy. Or as I call them, the future alcoholics of America. And just like regular alcoholics, those future alcoholics don't know when enough is enough. Like, I gotta give a good lesson. Like, I've gotta be like Billy, we puked twice. We're getting close to what we call a blackout, little buddy, okay? And what we're gonna wanna do is we wanna lay down and take a nap, because if we keep going from personal experience, buddy, we're gonna shit our pants and get arrested, okay? It's fired pretty quickly from that job too, actually. Yeah, I was driving through my hometown the other day, and I saw a reader board that said April is Child Abuse Awareness Month, which I think is stupid, because those kids are well aware. It was a good joke, relax. No, I think it's stupid though, because, you know, those awareness months, are we running out of things to be aware of? Because it started out with important stuff, like February is Black History Awareness Month, and July is Disability Awareness Month. And then at the end they're like, April is maybe don't beat your kids awareness month. I don't know. Like, what type of parent listens to that advice? And they're in a packed Walmart and they're like, "You fucking lucky it's April, bitch. Listen to me, shut up." You guys don't beat your kids, and I respect you for that. Okay, that's. But my dad is a redneck from Montana. Okay, if I tried to tell him when I was a kid that he couldn't beat me in April, he would stock up year round. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a little different. My family did come from Montana, and when I was a young kid, my family would take me during the summer to Montana to learn how to buck hay and scoop shit and learn how to be a man, you know? And my aunt, at the end of a long day of doing chores, would make me give her a shoulder massage, which was super weird. It was my least favorite chore, even over scooping shit. Because after a couple whiskeys, she got a little into that shoulder massage. It was weird, dude. You hit that knot just right, she's like, oh yeah. Which is hard as a 12-year-old, dude. I don't know what the hardest part of that was besides me, okay? Shame on you, Seattle. That was bad humor. Kidding, it was weird though, it was weird. And at 12, I didn't have the communication skills to tell my aunt that it was uncomfortable and please make it stop. So I did the only thing I could think of, which was make it extremely uncomfortable for both of us. And so when I hit that knot just right, my aunt was like, ooh, yeah. I just leaned in her ear and I was like, yeah? And that shit worked too well. She still hasn't talked to me, actually. My dad is from Montana as well, and my dad raised me a little differently than the other kids in the neighborhood. Like, for example, when I was in trouble, he didn't grab me by the arm, he'd grab me by the back of the neck. Or as he called it, the Montana steering wheel. We had fun, you know? And I remember this one time, I had an ear infection. He had to take work off, he was pissed. And I remember he grabbed me by the back of the neck and he reeled me in, and he was like, boy, if you're not actually hurt, you're gonna be when I'm done with you. I was like, oh shit, I hope I'm hurt. And I'm petty, dude. Like, I can't wait for my dad to be on his deathbed. Because I'll have to take work off, I'll be pissed. I'm gonna grab him by the back of his neck and reel him in. Be like, Paul, if you're not actually hurt, you're gonna be when I'm done with you. We're really pulling back on this. That was me killing my dad, just so you know. That was... Relax. Everyone in my family knows that joke, including my dad. He loves it. It's hilarious. But my dad was hard to handle as a kid. You know, my mom would take me and my sister to a family friend's house, Eric, right? And Eric was a cool guy. He was kind and sweet, loving. He was the opposite of my dad. So the feelings I had for Eric were really confusing early on. One day I went up to my mom and I was like, Mom, I think Eric should be my dad because I love Eric more than Dad. She handled it super well. She was like, shh, I love him more than Dad too. Fuck this up. Which is extra funny as an adult because I got a paternity test done and Eric is my dad. So. Relax, everyone in my family knows that joke, including my dad. He doesn't love that one though. Guys, you were a lot of fun. That's my time. Thank you so much. Thank you.